everyone and welcome to another episode of Rift News, the show you are most likely watching because you wanna see my feed. As you can see, we are trying something new, so let's see how long this lasts because it is really hard to set up. Anyway, this is an episode of Rift News, and so, as always, let's first have a look at what is happening in League of Legends. If you log into the game right now, you may be able to notice that you can buy all the Pentakill skins. However, you may also notice that there is no event for them. And therefore, if you want to buy some of the Chroma skins, you may find out that it is kinda hard to find them, and that's because you have to dig deep into the store. There you see all the bundles, but once again, because there is no event, in the client you can't find them at first glance. Unlike the Coven skins, which were absolutely everywhere. But besides the Pentakill skins, we got another big thing, and that is the reveal of Vex. Specifically, because she finally appeared on PBE, we know about her abilities. Her passive marks any enemy champions who dash or blink around her with Gloom. Her basic abilities can then detonate Gloom for extra damage. Her passive number 2, because new champions can't have only one passive, makes it so that every few seconds Vex's next ability also fears the enemy. Her Q sends out a damaging wave that gets thinner as it travels further. Her W gives her a shield and damages enemies around her. Her E slows and damages enemies in an area. Her ultimate sends out her shadow, which damages the enemy, but then she can recast it, travel to that enemy and deal more damage to them. And of course, because new champions need a bit of fleshiness, after this ability kills the enemy, it can be recast again. But did you notice that? A champion with simple abilities. Her Q just deals damage, her W gives her a shield and deals damage, her E deals damage in an area, her ultimate deals damage, but then it can also deal more damage. It's gonna be pain to deal with her. But if you are wondering about the design decisions behind these abilities, you can read about them in Vex's Champion Insight. Besides the abilities, there we learned that originally Vex was supposed to have 2 giant hands, but that made her look more like a fighter and not a mage. And so, to make her look more like a mage, Riot decided to turn Shadow into a shadow. A really thick shadow. But that's really it for Vex. She's a really cool champion, albeit a bit underwhelming. I was expecting a bit more shadow jutsus. But at least we got a champion who's not considered sexy. I think. And speaking of marketing, let's have a look at the skins. With Vex, we are getting ready for the arrival of the new Night and Dawnbringer skins. With Vex joining the Dawnbringers. I'll have to be honest, it's a really cool idea, but I don't think it fits her. Here, her shadowy abilities turned into cosmic abilities. You know, it looks cool, but it's kind of way too different. And that's a weird thing to say about a skin. Thankfully, the other skins in this skin line don't suffer from that, because next we have Nightbringer Lilia. She looks amazing, and that might be because this is her first serious dark skin. And somehow it fits her so well. I just hope she won't make me take off my clothes again. We then have Nightbringer Tryndamere, who is really Demon Blade on steroids. Because of the lack of VFX on Tryndamere in general, it is really hard to distinguish the two, but alas, there are demon chickens. And then there is Nightbringer Kayn, who is so good, he might as well be legendary. But he's not. The cool thing about this skin is that they swapped the colors. Assassin Kayn is the one who's dark and fiery, while the Darkin version is more of a holy galactic knight. The quality of this skin is absolutely insane, and it might be the best one on par with Lilia. But things get even better, because yes, this skin does have a prestige version, but no, it is not just champagne pink. I mean, the base is champagne pink, but when you evolve, the other forms have new models. His Darkin version has an entire new armor and spikes around the crown. While the Assassin not only has longer dress and a way fancier weapon, but the colors also changed from black and red to white, black and red. The differences may seem really subtle, but if you know what you are looking for, it's amazing. But we are not done yet, because after the Nightbringers, we have the Dawnbringers. First of all, we have Dawnbringer Morgana, who borrows quite a lot from her Victorious skin. It's still a cool one though. And then there is Dawnbringer Yone, who is a Dawnbringer despite also carrying a Nightbringer blade. You know, with this being a reference to him carrying a demon blade in his normal skin too. But for this skin I really want to mention one thing. His E is insanely fleshy, like if I was a new player I would have no idea what's even going on. Anyway, we are still not done yet, because besides this we also have Jarvan's Worlds 2021 skin, titled Worlds 2021 Jarvan. I think this bizarre name may be a replacement for the championship skins, which were often mistaken for victorious skins. So you know, if you title it Worlds and whatever year, people may figure out that that skin was released as a celebration for Worlds and not as a victorious skin for your ranked efforts. But what doesn't help that confusion is that this skin has 4 new chromas which kinda mimic the ranked recolors. Like there is Gold, and there is Diamond, and there is Grandmaster, but something like Platinum is missing, so no, this is not the victorious skin. This should absolutely be a new championship skin, but it is just titled differently. Which means that the chroma skins may actually exist to support the teams playing during Worlds, something like what happened with the old Kha'Zix. But right now we still have no confirmations on anything. What we do know is that that skin looks absolutely amazing. I'm a big fan of massive shiny armor, and so this is exactly my style. But going back to the chromas, of course all the other skins also have their own chroma skins, but for the Nightbringers and Dawnbringers, the colors are kind of random. But when it comes to Kayn, they are by far the best, because in Kayn's case, they also change his forms. Now back to Jarvan. With Jarvan Worlds 2021 being something, we can also expect Worlds 2021 loot, so of course be ready for tokens, orbs, bags and capsules. But besides that, there will also be a new Nightbringer ward, new banners for Worlds 2021, new cup for Clash and new icons for Clash, all based on Worlds 2021. But that's still not it, because there are the new Worlds icons, Worlds 2021 Jarvan icons, and the new Dawnbringer and Nightbringer icons. But there are also new icons for playing pick'ems, new icons for playing missions during Worlds 2021, and of course new icons for even watching Worlds 2021. There is a lot of icons to collect this year. But that's not even the best thing, because then we go to the emotes. We do have all the emotes for all the teams playing during this year's Worlds, but then we have 4 new emotes for 4 new champions. These are Lulu, Yasuo, Sejuani and Kai'Sa. Then we have 2 more emotes for Yone and Morgana. Nope, sorry for the interruption, but that is not Morgana. That is apparently, according to the file's names, Dragonmancer Kai'Sa. Which confirms that during the Worlds, Kai'Sa will get a Dragonmancer skin. Which makes sense with all the draconic symbology around this year's Worlds. So just know that there will be a new wave of Dragonmancer skins. But on top of that, we have 7 new emotes based on memes. These are for Kayn, Akshan, Graves, Diana, Irelia, Senna and Teemo. Now, for now, that is it for all the loot in League, but that is not it for the loot in TFT, because there you can see TFT Pengu, whom you can buy directly. He is not in an egg, but you can't upgrade him. It's a decent skin and it is limited, so I guess go for it. But we are still not done with loot, because then there is the new Mordekaiser figure with glowing eyes. I mean, you have to plug it in, but it does have glowing eyes. But that is it for loot and skins, so now let's get onto the more interesting topics. Such as lore. If you are not aware, there are 2 new things which we will talk about on our channel very soon. First of all, there is Vex. Vex's lore is fine. Her issue is that her story essentially ended with the Ruination, and so when her bio was released, it's just there. There are no twists, there are no cliffhangers, because as I mentioned, her story essentially ended. Like, remember how in the visual novel it was mentioned that Vex was the one who was spreading around the mist, not Viego? Yeah, that's never really elaborated upon. She's just kinda there, it's fine, but the timing is really unfortunate. The other lore, which is way cooler, is the one of Pentakill. Of course, many of you know about the comics and the teasers and all the videos, but did you know that on Universe we actually have 3 more entire stories about the Pentakill universe? Yes, we will cover all of it on our channel, but just know that the Pentakill lore is quite metal. I can't wait till I can cover it. But of course, this takes us to the concert. And let me tell you, god damn, that was so good! Like, really, the music is amazing, no one's gonna say anything about that. The graphics? I understand why some people were not so happy with it, but hang on for a second. Many people didn't even realize that that was live performance. The models were pre-made, the settings were pre-made, but the animations were from live actors. This was essentially live action. And I love that when I was trying to explain this to our viewers live on stream, at that exact moment, Viego turned towards the camera and talked to me directly. And when that happened, absolutely everyone rejoiced when my name was mentioned. Absolutely everyone was joyous. Alright, maybe not everyone was grateful. Regardless, it was a really cool moment, but it started a conversation. Some people started thinking about why do the same people always get the cool things from Riot over and over again and all the other smaller creators don't get anything. For that, hang on a second. I was not supposed to be able to stream this event, and I was only able to do it because people tweeted at Riot so much they looked at the list of people greenlit to stream this event and they saw that there is one open spot in case someone fell out. And so, because there was a reserve, they just told me, hey, do you wanna stream it? And of course, I love metal, I said yes. And here's the thing, I was only greenlit a few hours before the concert took place, so there was absolutely no setup. The actor that was playing Viego essentially took a random name from a list and they called me out. That's the end of that story, there was no pre-planning, it literally just happened. And for that, Viego, you have my eternal gratitude, just like all the people who turned you into memes. Yes, we have the graphics, which are not perfect, but there is something else we can compare it to. And those graphics gave us amazing things, such as thick Mordekaiser. And we also got this absolutely glorious scene. The title couldn't be any more perfect. Also remember, live action. But most importantly, out of all of this, let's not forget the undying hero, Kvertzy21, who won the Civil War. And also thanks to Shyhem for his glorious sacrifice in the fight against Viego. Of course, if you are interested in my reaction to all of that, you can find it on our second channel. Also, in my opinion, Redemption is by far the best song, by a mile, but Acoustic Lightbringer is also very close. Interestingly enough, Lightbringer did appear at the end of Sona's list of songs that they were supposed to play during the concert, but they didn't play it at the end. However, if you go to Riot's music channel, there you can find it. But yeah, that's essentially Pentakill, I have to be honest. It was way better than the Ruination, and it didn't even get its own event. How is that possible? And the lore of Pentakill is now so good, somehow what's happening to Seraphine is happening again. Seraphine's KDA lore was really good. Her base lore, not so much. Viego's Pentakill lore is amazing. His base lore is fine. So somehow, yes, Viego's lore for his skin is 8 times better. But anyway, with that, we are done with League and TFT and anything around Runeterra. So now, let's move on to the last thing, Valorant. In case you missed it, the Valorant Champions event has happened in Berlin, but that's not the only new thing that we got. We also got new gun skins based on Zed, the musician, which you may remember from that League of Legends video. But on top of that, the episode 3 Act 2 also started, which brought us really neat and clean skins. And all of that is bundled in with a brand new map, which will likely be teasing the new agent yet to come. And that is it for this episode of Rift News. I really have to mention one thing. Even though Valorant usually takes skins from events that are in League, just like the Ruination, why did they not take anything from Pentakill? Like, from my point of view, It would have been really cool if we could bonk someone over the head with a guitar. Better yet, with a lost hat.